Hey Sid, I'm quitting you.
Yeah, man, it's great to see you. I didn't actually expect you today. I thought it was just going to be me and Avish, but Avish is going to come at 2:30. And so, yeah, we'll rock and roll it as it is. So, yeah, let's
How do
start off
you
with.
know?
Pardon?
How do you know he's gonna come at 2:30?
He told me, yeah, after he asked me, he said, can we do 2:30? And then he told me about his tummy bug. So, or heat bug and tummy, whatever it was. So, yeah, it's cool. I don't want to keep you up
You
too
didn't
long.
get
Then,
it.
pardon?
It's okay. It's
Yeah,
okay.
I know.
Let's go on.
Yes, yeah. So, what's your thoughts being on the India England series? India clinched it 3-1, and then there was a controversy over the concussion sub. So, what were your thoughts on that?
I think they have a valid point. There should be like for like substitutes. Um, Obviously, it's not stated clearly in the rule book, so it's something that needs to be looked at. So you cannot hold India responsible for that.
Mm.
It's something that um, happened. We learn from it. We adjust things, and we do better next time. Um, I fully believe England would have come back into the series and probably won it.
Mm-hmm.
They were looking better. But the one thing I did like about looking at the two teams in the series, England have experimented. They've brought in a lot of youngsters.
Mm.
India sent the bus to the old age home and brought the pensioners.
No, but do you think India were deserving winners of this series so far?
Based on what happened, yes. Um, yeah, I guess you can't really fault them. They played what was in front of them and they won. Yeah, good
Okay,
enough.
fair enough. All right, so we'll get to the next item of agenda, which is the the SA20. So, what's your thoughts been on that? I know Mumbai MI20 Cape Town are through, our favorite team, and
Yep.
obviously top of the log is Paul Royal. I think they're already in there as
Mhm.
well. I forgot who made the third and fourth spot actually. Who made the third and fourth
Isn't
spot?
my
Or
Cape
those?
Town?
Pardon?
My Cape Town is now top of the log, aren't they?
Of course, my bad. Yeah, I think Paul Royal the
Yeah,
number two, if I'm correct.
that's correct. Yeah,
And then who was number? But then who's taking the third and fourth spot for the playoffs?
it's looking likely to be Joburg and what's these other guys from the Highveld,
Uh,
the Pretoria guys. It's looking
I
likely then. Yeah,
okay. I just want to see
yeah.
something here because
Uh, oh, I could be wrong. I'm not sure. It might be Sunrisers and Joburg, but I know it's Joburg.
you're
Uh,
probably right because Sunrisers and Joburg are very close on points. Yeah, I think it's
hmm.
Joburg and probably Sunrise. But that's amazing for Joburg Super King because they look nowhere. They were getting injuries left, right, center. But I think they were quite smart with their pitches, making them all spin friendly because that's what their strength is, eh?
At the moment, yeah. Also, Patiran has been good. He's been good at times.
And so, how are you finding Faf's captaincy? Do you think Faf is fuffing around? Or do you think he's really a good guy?
Honestly, Scott's always been a good captain. I never saw the need for him to have retired from international cricket and leave SA in the lurch. Uh, I honestly believe he is the best captain this country has.
Wow, that's a bold statement. What about Graham Smith?
Nah, never liked Smith. Never liked.
For what reason, if you don't mind me asking?
Too much drama, too much politics in the change room. He wasn't a good manager. Faf kept the bullshit out of it.
Wow, that's pretty strong. I have my thoughts of him on the personal, on the off the field stuff, but I think as a leader, he was good. I mean, tactically, probably not the most astute captain, but I thought as a leader, in terms of inspiring men, I thought he was good. Like, remember that Sydney test where he didn't have to come out to bat because they really won the series. I thought that was quite inspirational, if you know what I mean.
Faf is one of those guys who leads by example. If he's playing well, his team plays well. If he's having a down
Interesting.
period, his team.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of Faf. Let me put that out there. I have never been a big fan of his. However,
Okay.
I respect.
Yeah, I would admit that. Remember when SA had lost that first test against Australia in Durban? It was amazing how they galvanized and won the last three tests. I guess he inspired his men to use that as motivation and win that series. If you remember that one.
I'm pretty sure that was the case. Yeah.
Okay, all right. We'll get to the next item of agenda, which is the West Indies Pakistan series. I remember you and Avish had boldly predicted West Indies to win that test, and they won it. I was hoping Pakistan would have wanted to make it 2-0 so that their strategy of spin friendly pitches worked. But if we're being fair, Pakistan should have won that test provided they took advantage of the opportunity because they had West Indies the dumps there in the first innings, 50 for 8 or something like that. And they bowled them out for even 100 and made that same score of 160. They were at a 60-run lead. Worst case scenario, they would have chased 190, although on that pitch, 190 is still a bit, but it's a lot better than chasing 250. Or what's your thoughts, man? Do you think Pakistan effed it up, or do you think West Indies are just too good?
I honestly believe that Pakistan are not the worst team in the world. I think they have a lot of talent. I
Mm-hmm.
think their strategies are crappy at times. Honestly, their strategy is very crappy at times. I mean, they came to South Africa, and the bowlers that bowled in that test match, I mean, like, really, seriously, whatever. Yeah. So, yeah, strategically, Pakistan are just not there. Unless they're trying to compete with India as to who is the better team at losing, then they're definitely winning. Yeah. And yeah, and so there's that scenario, obviously. But yeah, Pakistan and honestly, West Indies is doing well. They're coming up. They're doing better. They're getting their act together. They've got a really good bowling attack at the moment. Their batting's not too bad. Yeah, in the next 4 or 5 years, this West Indies team could be a force.
Like in the top five?
Hmm? I'd say probably top three.
Wow, that's a bold prediction. You must remind me when you made that prediction, then I will salute you in the live chat.
No, no problem.
Yeah, although you have made bold predictions and proven me wrong. Remember in that T20 World Cup in the West Indies, how you predicted United States to go through that first group, and how I laughed like mad.
Uh, the thing about it is, I always look at it logically. I think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of cricket fans tend to look at things through rose-tinted glasses. This
Mm-hmm.
team has always done well, so we expect them to always do
Mm.
well. I look at what's on the field and what's happening. Right? That's the way I call it.
Hmm. That's very profound, man. Okay. But do you admit though that Pakistan, had they not dropped, that they've been a bit more clinical in that second test, they should have won it? Or do you think it's just Pakistan doing Pakistan things and you just can't help it? Like even against Bangladesh, right? They had them in a similar position and then they lost the test. I just feel Pakistan sabotaged themselves so bad, that they lose
Mm.
matches that they shouldn't lose, unless I'm just being too harsh on them.
No, no, I don't think you're wrong. I think you're right, but I think it stems from a deeper problem. Very poor selection. The teams that are put on the park are not the best 11 that Pakistan can offer up, and that's the problem.
Yeah. But you know what the problem is? The fast bowlers are injury prone, right? And because of that, I think they've tried to make sporting pitches, but in the process of trying it, the pitches have just become flat, or maybe they just haven't tried hard enough. And so they've kind of now
No,
they've kind of now gone to the spin pitch strategy, which was looking all right. They won against England 2-1, then won
no,
the first
I'm
test.
gonna
And pardon?
I'm gonna ask you one simple question.
Sure.
They've got five really good fast bowlers. Which one of them is injured right now?
I'm trying to remember now. Isn't it that Hassan? Not Hassan. That Nassain. What's his name? The guy started with an N.
Nasim Shah.
Yeah, that one.
Nasim Shah. He's not
Yes.
injured.
He was injured. Remember
No,
for that
no,
Cape
no.
Town test? Remember he broke down in
He
that
was
Cape Town
not.
test?
Yeah, but he's fine now. He played in the
Oh,
T20s recently. Yeah.
oh, okay. Interesting.
They
For
just
which?
have really stupid. They just have really stupid selection policies. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, but I don't think the pitches help them. That's why they're now resolved to the spinning strategy. You know what I mean?
Well, let me put it this way: you've got four guys that can top 150. You've got one guy who's fighting with Bumrah for that position as the best fast bowler in the world, and none of them are playing. And then you're gonna tell me that the pitchers aren't supporting you? You're playing crappy bowlers. Doesn't matter what pitch you give them, they're not going to be good at it.
Yeah, no, but no, what I'm saying is that they need to create pitches that will suit those fast bowlers. Like before, they were creating roads,
Yeah,
if you remember.
no, they were. But even on a road, if a guy's bowling at 150, it's going to trouble certain batsmen.
Yeah, I guess it's just yeah, they said it's Asian politics at best.
Mm. Unfortunately, yeah.
Okay, let's get to the next agenda. Okay, all right. Oh yeah, I just remembered now. Okay, we have the Australia and Sri Lanka test match. This is also Sri Lanka doing Pakistan things, although in a different direction. I mean, Sri Lanka were just. I mean, credit to Australia. I mean, they played well. They won by an innings and 200 plus runs. I kind of lost. I kind of like was really so despondent of how badly Sri Lanka played. All right, hold on a second. Oh, look, looks like Avish is actually on the line. Avi, yeah, earlier than
Hey,
expected.
How's it, guys? How's it, guys?
Oh,
how you
Avi,
doing?
hey, Avi, that's a quick
Yeah,
one.
good,
Avi,
man. You guys talking
hey,
about Sri Lanka? Oh my
yeah,
word!
yeah. Okay, fine. Okay,
Uh,
I'll start with you then, Avi. I was gonna. Yuvi, if you don't mind, I'll start with Avi since you just come on the line. Avi, what were your thoughts on the Sri Lanka Australia match? I was so upset with Sri Lanka. I give credit to Australia for playing well, but I think Sri Lanka gave it to them on the plate. Bad fielding, bad bowling, bad reviewing, bad batting, all round.
yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it right there. I mean, geez, man. I think we all here. I mean, we all really shocked, guys, with this performance from Sri Lanka. I mean, biggest defeat, test defeat in their history at home and
Mm-hmm.
at a venue where they actually so dominant.
Mm.
I mean, seriously, man. At Dull, I mean, look. You got to give Australia credit where it's due. But I mean, for the Australian spinners to outbowl the Sri Lankan spinners, that's a that's a real cause for concern, man. So you're right, man. I mean, the fielding was pathetic. The bowling, I mean, let alone leaking runs, but I mean, at the rate that they were leaking runs, almost 4.5 and over. I mean, there's no control there. And
Mm.
getting Uzi back into form. I mean, Uzi couldn't buy a run in the India series. And
Yeah,
there we
those
go.
pitches
He's back
were.
in form now.
Mm. Mm.
Smith, I mean, he continued his good form
Yeah.
from the India series. So yeah, dominant performance from Australia. I didn't see it coming, and I don't know what Sri Lanka are going to do for that second test. Whether they're going to go the Pakistan way and probably prepare rank turner, but I think it was an opportunity missed for Sri Lanka. Eh? They were thoroughly beaten and quite embarrassed in this game here.
I honestly don't think the pitch is the problem. I just think Sri Lanka didn't apply themselves. And if you remember, I remember they had a similar situation like this the last time they played Australia. They lost the first test and then won the second. Although to be fair, they weren't as excuse my language shit in that first test. It was Australia were just too good. So I think, but I trust Sri Lanka will bounce back. They'll play a lot better. They can't play any worse. I mean, they can, but I don't think they will.
Yeah, I don't think they can play any worse than this. But if they do play worse than this, they don't deserve to be playing Test cricket. Let's be honest.
Yeah, yeah. I was actually hoping Sri Lanka would have proven my theory. Had India just managed to win one of those test matches, or at least try and draw in the series, they could have been a favor for them. But I
Well,
guess
well, well, well,
if
well, 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 you talk, you're adding that, kind of permutation. I mean, that could have been
mm,
interesting because this could have been a pressure
mm,
game for Australia.
yeah,
This could have been a pressure game for Australia. But I honestly feel the pressure was off Australia, so they went and played their natural game.
mm,
If Australia is
okay,
under pressure,
uh-huh.
it's going to be interesting to see how they react to that set because I mean, even Lion couldn't buy a wicket in that. Lion couldn't
Mm-hmm.
buy a wicket in that India series, and look at how
Mm,
he performed here. So it's kind of embarrassing for Sri Lanka that the Australian spinners outbowled their spinners in home
uh-huh.
conditions. That's the most embarrassing thing.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, man. Okay, it looks like UV is doing the disappearing act, so we'll continue. Okay, yeah. Okay, fine. Now that we've wrapped that one up, we'll go to the beginning, which I did with UV. What were your thoughts on the India and England series in a nutshell and that concussion sub situation?
I just think England are so poor against spin, man. I mean, we seen it again, man. I mean, this is England's weakness, and I think
Mhm.
if teams in the Champions Trophy are looking at this, they want to play at least two or three spinners against England when they play
Mhm.
England because that is England's weakness. Wrist spin, off spin. I mean, any kind of spin. They have been found wanting. Well, you got to give India credit where it's due. I think they held their nerve in
Mm.
that last game. I
Mhm.
think it could have went either way, but I
Mhm.
think the crucial wickets in the middle, they really, set the tone for India. And England came back well in that third ODI, third
Mm.
T20. I mean, I honestly don't know what kind of game India were playing in that game. They were really like
Mm.
chopping and changing the batting order and stuff. I don't know if you noticed that in that third T20, they were chopping and changing their batting
Yeah.
order. Too many left
Yeah.
hand,
I think they
hierarchy
should have done that.
combinations, and they wanted to keep the
They
flow
should have
between the
done it
left and
after
right.
they'd won the series. That would have been more logical.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why they went and did that, but I mean, they came back quite strongly. And I was speaking to my one friend off air. I reckon India, I bet India to win this because I think England are so poor against spin that India always have a chance in home conditions. And yeah, they were dominant. So today is the
Mm.
last T20.
That's
Essentially
true.
a dead rubber. Eh? So I'm gonna watch some football. I'm gonna watch some football. Yeah, instead of tuning into that game there, because I mean, if it was a decider, it would have been really interesting this game here. But unfortunately, England are so poor against spin that they didn't take it to the decider. So yeah, I'm gonna watch some football. In the meantime, while that T20 is going, here. I don't know what UV is gonna. UV, you gonna join me some football later?
Uh, what are we talking? Soccer.
No, no,
Yeah, I mean,
is it
what we got?
watching the final T20?
We got
Oh,
Arsenal and
oh,
Man
okay.
City
Oh, okay.
today. We got United and Crystal
Man,
Palace.
Man
So yeah,
City, I love that team, but they're playing like crap right now. So,
they're playing cock, eh? Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. I feel like their hunger is not there anymore. What do you think? They kind of won everything that you can think of in football, and that hunger is not there
it's
anymore.
possible. I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. You've got the same players, you've got the same manager. It just makes no sense.
But
And then
okay. Mhm.
you got Arsenal that are perennial bottle jobs. What do you expect from them?
That's true. But they cause the upsets now and again. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, it's just about going one better and actually winning the Premier League. Which I mean, as a United fan at the moment, to see Liverpool playing as well as they playing, I mean, that's a tough
And
one
I
to
But
think it's
swallow.
my comeback because there used to be a time about 2 years ago. If people asked me who they people always said they support Manchester, and I said I also do. I just support the
Mhm.
Manchester team that wins, but they're not winning anymore, are they?
Oh, you're referring to the United or the City?
The team that was winning at that time was City, not United.
No, but remember, United used to be a very good team. It used to be a very good team, though.
Yeah, but I mean, look, man. City have histories like pretty recent. I mean, we're talking about legacy clubs and heritage clubs. United is that club. I mean, along with Liverpool, but
Mm.
Liverpool had their dominant age. They had their
Mm,
dominant, period in the 80s, and then United dominated the 90s and
true.
2000s. But I mean, when Fergie did leave the reins, I think everything went downhill after that because I mean, you got 12 years of absolute madness at that club where you've got managers being chopped and changed like hell. I mean, ownership
Mhm.
from the Glazers, and now you got Ineos coming in. So it's been absolute chaos. It's been a circus at United for the
That's
last
not
12
Um,
just
years.
United. I think if you look at all the teams in that English Premier League, the minute the players start playing crap, they blame it
mhm.
on the manager.
That's true.
It's just modus
It's
operandi.
it's
And and one other big factor here, oil money talks. Oil money talks in
True.
the Premier
That's
League
true. That's true.
nowadays. I mean, if you got oil money, you can win this Premier League. That's
wow.
what it's
That's
become.
true.
But Yuvi, are you gonna watch the last T20 between India and England, or are you gonna do what Avi's gonna do? Just watch soccer instead.
No, I watched the T20 because I fully want England to win this one.
Yeah, it makes
I
sense. Yeah,
personally,
for consolation pride. Yeah, for consolation prize.
I
Okay, it
personally
makes
think
sense.
they should have won the series, but
Hmm.
combination of factors.
Hmm.
No excuses. They did not play well enough. No excuses.
But Avish,
But
what's your thoughts on? Oh, okay, sorry. Oh, sorry, UV.
but by the same token,
Hmm.
certain things could have been done better with
Of
regards
course.
to organization, with
Mm.
regards to clarity on that kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, Avi, I wanted to know your thoughts on the concussion stuff because you didn't mention about that.
Yeah, but to be honest, with you, I didn't actually watch that first
Oh.
T20 very a lot. So I mean, I did see it on I did see the article on Quick Info because I mean, I usually if I
Mm-hmm.
miss any games, I just go straight to Quick Info and I get
Mm-hmm.
my feed. So the concussion stuff was Rana, right?
Sorry. Yeah, Rana
No,
for Dube.
Rana went for
The hard sheet coming.
who came in for who? I thought Dube came in for Rana.
No, 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 no.
I think
Yeah, yeah,
Harshit
yeah.
Rana was
Rashid
Rana
Rana
came in for
substituted
Dube.
Dube. Yeah, yeah.
Oh well,
she
that
can't
does
do
make
that.
sense. You can't bring in a fast bowler for a medium pacer. Sorry, and the medium pacer there has no penetration at all. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Guys, I just wanna bring something up. What do you guys think of Shami's form so far
I haven't seen
in the
much.
series? Because I know they're trying to bring him back and getting fit for the champions. But I think he's a bit down on
It's
pace.
early
He's
days. I think
majorly
he'll
down
build
on.
up pace. I think it's early days.
Hmm.
I think he's just come back. Yeah, I think it's early
Yeah.
days
How
though.
old is this guy now?
Pardon?
How old is this guy now?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
early
oldest.
30s.
Okay,
He's
yeah,
early
oldest
30s.
No,
30s.
he's
Yeah.
older than that. He's closing on to 40. I'm sure.
Had a Babre. Let me go check.
No.
I
Yovi, if he was going on to 40, then man, his longevity in this game is
Yeah, he would
because
have.
amazing. We're talking about another
Yeah.
Jimmy
the guy's
Anderson.
been
We're
the
talking about
guy's
him
been playing for almost 20 years.
It's 34
going
years
to
old
40.
from what I saw on my Google. 34 years
Really?
old. So
Okay.
yeah, young
Okay.
30s. Well, nearly mid 30s. Let's say nearly mid 30s.
Well, he's just
Okay,
been playing for.
you know what's my opinion? I think they need to. Yeah, he
And
has. I think I remember. I don't know if Sid remembers this. I think he made his debut in that series where Session retired.
Interesting.
Sid, am I
When
correct, Sid?
Session
he
retired.
made
That's a
it.
good. That's a good
He
question,
made
actually.
it.
Yeah, against the
No,
Windies. So he was actually playing when the old
he
guard was
he
there. He was actually playing when the old guard was
Hmm.
there.
he
Session
made his debut
and Sehwag.
I
alongside
know.
Umesh
Yeah.
Yadav when just before the World Cup, that World Cup that they won.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because remember,
Yes,
both
yes,
these
yes,
guys
yes.
were bowling 150, and the people were shocked. How does an Indian
Mm-hmm.
team provide? Actually, there were three of them because even Varun Aaron was bowling very fast, but he didn't have the accuracy. Yeah,
Mm.
Ooh, Varuna Aaron had wheels, eh? I remember his IPL
yeah,
days. That
they
guy
were
had
all
wheels.
in the early 150s. They were all hitting that speed. Yeah,
And then Ishan Sharma as well was really good with
he
his
was.
bounce.
Yeah,
Oh, Yuvi, I wanted to catch. Oh, sorry. Oh,
So
sorry. Avi, I think were you saying something or was Yuvi saying something?
no,
yeah, my personal opinion, if
Mm-hmm.
you got a bowler and a
Mm-hmm.
pacer that's like 34, I think it's time
Mm.
to blood the youngsters, is it? And I think Rana is the one that
Mm.
needs to come into this
Yeah,
side now.
that's true.
I think you need to.
Give him
I
some
think you
time.
need to bring in one of your.
What do you think? What
I
do you
think you
think?
want to bring in one of your faster boys, not Harshit Rana.
Like who?
Yadav,
Okay.
Malik,
Mm.
maybe even what's his name, Karthik.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
any
Okay.
of them.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
This is a problem I
Okay.
have with Umran Malik. I think Umran
Mm-hmm.
Malik has got the pace,
Yeah.
but he doesn't have the accuracy and
Yeah,
control.
I
What do you
agree
think,
with
sir?
that. I don't know if he's injury
I think
prone as
actually
well.
not anymore. He hasn't been injured for a long time. And
Okay.
But
but
I personally think the best bowler in this Indian side after Bumrah is Harshdeep
no,
Singh.
Okay.
definitely, accuracy wise. Yeah. But
Yeah,
here's
yeah,
what I've
accuracy
always
wise, yeah.
said.
Mm-hmm.
Accuracy is important, yes,
Mm-hmm.
but you need that one bowler who can just turn a game on its head. Throw accuracy out the window, let him bowl fast, let him bowl aggressive. when your team's not getting wickets, that's the guy that's going to get you wickets.
Okay, that's true. Yuvi, I wanted to get your thoughts on the Sri Lankan series because I didn't touch that one up with you. What were your thoughts on Australia winning that first test? Because me and Avi were like very critical of Sri Lanka's performance in that one.
Yeah, how do you lose to that Australian team? Seriously. How do you lose to that Australian team?
Yeah.
They copied the India model. They copied the India model. They sent the bus to the old age home and brought the pensioners.
Yeah, man.
I totally agree. I totally agree with Yovi. I mean, this. If you look at that Australian lineup with ordinary, I mean, you got Bo Webster, you've got Kuhlaman, you've got Todd Murphy, you got one pacer in Stark. Okay, you got no Cummins, you got no Hazelwood, you got no Boland, right? Okay, Lion is the one that is experienced in that bowling lineup. And then, as a spinner, but Kuhlaman and Todd Murphy are pretty new to this format. So I think what was more embarrassing, Yuvi, and I told Sid this, that Sri Lanka spinners were out bowled by Australia spinners, and Sri Lankan spinners have been brought up on those kind of wickets. I'm sure they played over 200, 300 first class games in Dal. And for them to not get to the pitch and know what kind of length to bowl on that wicket was really, really disappointing from Sri Lanka's point of view. I mean, if you bring Murali onto that game there, I mean, that boy is going to turn all over the show. So it just goes to show it's the quality that he's affected. So I mean, even lose. I mean, geez, man.
No, I got to be honest here.
To lose by that
To me,
margin.
I'm looking at world cricket right now, right? New Zealand outbowled India at home. Australia have done it to Sri Lanka. The Western teams are upping their game in the spin stakes because they've caught on to the fact that the Asian teams set turning wickets at home. That's why I'm looking at it.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Because I mean, India. I mean, losing a series at home after 12 years. Really, I think whoever plays India at home next time around, they're going to fancy the chances. What do you think?
Definitely.
I'm willing to be an optimist and say that India can't play any worse. I think they'll be more motivated. Although that'll be more dependent on how badly they play in England. If they lose badly to England, then maybe there are possibilities to exploit a vulnerable India, and then maybe Gautam's job will be on the line even more. Although I'm willing to make a prediction: if India don't make semi-final of Champions Trophy, I think Gautam will be out of a job, and then India will still have enough time to find another coach. So, who knows?
No, I agree with you. India are idiots. They will fire the coach first.
Okay, Yuvi, I remembered what topic I wanted to bring up with you last week, and I know your time is at a premium. So, what are your thoughts on Test cricket going to 4 days? Because I know that's been another discussion point around the world. Are you in favor of 4-day cricket, or are you still in for 5-day cricket, Yuvi?
I think that's absolutely yes, to be honest with you, because what guarantee do you have that a test match is going to go to 4 days? Sir? I mean, we can talk about test cricket not lasting for 5 days, but there's no guarantee. There is no guarantee that a test match is going to last 4 days. Or going to last less than 4 days.
But this question was actually for Yuvi because Yuvi never answered this question, and I already asked this to you a couple of weeks ago, if you remember. So Yuvi, what's your thoughts on it, man?
My response, firstly, I agree with Avish. 4 days is not enough. Yes, betting in world cricket right now is crap. There's not one country in the world that has a really good betting order. That's a fact. So, yeah, test matches are not lasting 5 days for that simple reason. The days of people scoring double hundreds and triple hundreds, long gone. Doesn't happen anymore. So basically, you're looking at that scenario, 4 days. It might work for a little while, but I think you're going to get a lot of no results. You're going to get a lot more no results.
Draws. You mean like draws and all that?
Draws, yeah. I don't like that. You want to give them 5 days, hash it out.
My issue with 4 days is actually the weather, and also the fact that you're doing it even 90 overs done in a day, and then you're going to entertain 100 over the day. It's impossible. And my also issue will be, I don't want a situation where teams are being dictated to before the match. You have to have a spinner so that you can cover up the deficiency of overs. I just don't actually see where cricket will land, where teams are being dictated to that you have to have a spinner and all that crap. So 5 days is for me on that basis alone.
Well, imagine signing the West Indies or a fully fledged Australian team. You have to have a spinner. Ready.
It's bonkers, man.
Sorry.
What do you think, Avi?
Yeah, this is not so much of a concern. I think the bigger concern here is that two-tier system, which I'm not in favor of, guys. I mean, that's absolute, absolute BS. I mean, ICC are proposing this, and I mean, teams like the Windies and Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, that's going to be the death for them in terms of Test cricket. I can't see them playing Test cricket. Because I mean, they make their revenue. They make their revenue in teams like Australia, England, India tour, and the Windies. I think their most lucrative tour is when England come down, because the Barmy Army comes down. And they spend a lot of money on those tours, and they drink a lot. Really, those guys can finish. Those guys can wipe out a bar. They can wipe out a bar. So,
but
to
me, it's you make some very good points. There's no doubt. Yeah, some very good points. But there's pros and cons to this whole concept. The cons, Avish has laid them out very well, no doubt. The pros, however, from my perspective, you're playing teams on your level. You're more likely to improve your game. You're more likely to get into the habit of winning, and then you can step up to that first tier. So you might find that teams like the West Indies and I don't know about Bangladesh, but Sri Lanka, West Indies, they could actually step it up quite strongly. And
yeah, I agree with you on Bangladesh. Actually, I think Afghanistan could even make Test cricket, and then Bangladesh at the moment. Probably.
Yeah, look, I'm not gonna lie. Afghanistan, I think, has the makings of a really good test team. They just don't know how to implement their skills in the right way.
What you mean by
I've
that?
always said, I think. Sorry.
No, I said, what do you mean by that? That they don't know how to implement their skills in the right way?
Test cricket is a different game to T20. It's a different game to ODI. That long. There's no need for someone like what's his name, that opening batsman captain of theirs, Goodbars. Yeah. There's no need for him to come out and try and dominate a bowling attack in a test match. This was not Sana Jayasuriya trying to get his team off to a flyer. No. Bat long, score big, and then on that fifth day, if you've got a total and you've got a team chasing, do you want anybody other than Rashid Khan bowling on the turning pitch?
Interesting. Okay.
Noor Ahmed and Rashid Khan.
I think
Noor Ahmed and Rashid Khan bowling on the fifth day on the turning pitch. That is a nightmare.
That is true. That is true. That is true, actually.
I think you can throw that Yankee in as well. Allah Ghazanfar. I think he's also a threat now, and that is why I think Afghanistan are going to be such a dangerous team in the Champions Trophy. Although it's a different format, they got three quality spinners, guys. They're going to be a handful, especially for a team like England that don't know how to play spin and don't know how to play this spin. So they're going to be a real handful. I think getting back to Afghanistan, I think they don't understand the tempo of this cricket.
Agreed.
They don't understand the tempo. Yeah, because they've been brought up on ODI and T20, and that's not their fault. That's not their fault. I think the fault lies with the ICC, because the ICC have not given Afghanistan enough test matches against good quality opposition to actually hone their skills. I mean, they play England in the odd test, like before the English summer starts, and then you've got like tests against Afghanistan. Against Zimbabwe, and I think they kind of play Zimbabwe more often. And I know they did play West Indies as well, but I mean, guys, I mean, seriously, they need to start playing a lot more
Yeah.
quality teams in order to get their way. Just I'm all for this. I think a tour to South Africa would help them. A two-test series to the Rainbow Nation would help them. Yeah, bring them down here. Bring them down here. Let them get the feel because I mean, Rashid, he's quite familiar with SA's conditions at the moment because he's played for MI for a couple of years now, and then you've got Gurbaz as well that's playing for the Victoria
Who's
side. Noor is playing
the all-rounder?
for Durban, so they've got players there.
Who's the all-rounder that plays for my Cape Town?
All rounder.
The first.
Omar Zai. Is it Omar Zai?
Omar Zai, yeah. Now, that to
Omar
me,
Zai. Yeah,
that to
Omar
me is
Zai.
one of the most skillful operators with a new ball. He is skillful. Really.
Absolutely.
Okay, Yavi, you just landed into the next conversation I want to bring up to you. What's your thoughts on the SA20 so far, and what's your thoughts on MI Cape Town finally being in the playoffs?
Yeah, lucky I got a backup team this year. Eh? I'm so happy I got a backup team this year, and that's MI Cape Town. But yeah, I mean MI, they've really done well this year. I mean, they've made their 2 seasons in the doldrums. They haven't really played to the potential, but this year I think they got their act together, and yeah, they've stormed into the playoffs with Pal. I think Pal, my personal opinion, will be the surprise package. I don't expect them to do this well.
But
Eh? Yeah. So they've been the surprise package for me. And then, Sunrisers,
Yeah.
a bit inconsistent here and there, but they managed to find their way
Okay.
to the playoffs.
Okay.
Joburg as well, JSK, they're very inconsistent, but they managed. I think the less to be said about PC and DSG because I mean they have been absolutely woeful this year.
But I noticed something about Paul. Once Joe Root left, they fell apart. They fell apart once. Okay, it's only been one match, yes.
Yeah.
But they were horrible. They were terrible. I mean, DSG at times looked better than Paul looked on that day. In all honesty, Paul, I don't see them winning this tournament.
So who do you see winning? Who do you see winning?
I'm going with MI. I'm going with.
I agree.
I'm going with MI Cape Town.
Yeah.
Rivers has hit form at the right time. Rivers has hit form at the right time.
I like it. You, Avi? You see MI Cape Town finally winning one?
Yeah, I'm going with Ambani's. MI
Okay,
Cape
this is
Town
a
this
hat
year.
trick. This makes me.
MI, and I think it's going to be a MI and JSK final. I just got
Interesting.
that feeling. North versus South.
Nice.
How's that, guys?
MI and who?
North versus South derby. MI and JSK.
Yeah, that's a likely one. That's a very likely. That's a very likely.
Although
North versus
I
South
wouldn't
derby.
mind
That's
MI
what it is.
beating the living daylights out of Sunrise. It's just to show them how they fluked the first 2 seasons. Nah, I'm just kidding.
I think it's going to happen.
Oh,
I kind of see it happening, though. I must be honest.
Okay.
I look at this MI team. They every match they play, they want to dominate whoever they play. It's like they're going out there to humiliate the opposition. That's the way they're going about it.
They got all the bases covered. That's the good thing about them. They got all the bases covered. You're talking about pace bowling. You're talking about spinners, top order batters, middle order. They've got everything covered. I mean, Brevis. I mean, Yubi. What does this guy have to do to get into this national setup? I think it's time now. I think it's time. I actually think he's actually outbatted Stubbs in this competition so far. And everybody was looking at Stubbs and Brevis being the next generation. Okay, Stubbs is already in the setup. But I think it's high time that the Brevis comes into this
national team. Yeah.
National setup now. Yeah.
That you might actually see me support South Africa if that happens.
Oh gosh. Hey, that's bad, Yui. Hey, Yui. We need Protea fire, man, all around.
Yumi's got a soft spot for SA.
No,
Pakistan, I can
I
see
got
it.
a
He's
soft
got a
spot
soft
for
spot for
Devon
SA.
Rivets.
Yeah, that's true. I like him too.
somewhere inside, Juvi, he's got a
I'm
soft spot
not
for the
gonna lie.
first one.
There's
I
a
can see it.
there's a lot of talent amongst the youngsters in SA. There
Mm,
is so
mm,
much talent. I
Just that we
think
don't know how to
I
use
Mm,
have
it.
yeah.
I think one of my issues is similar to the issue I have with India. I don't like the
Mm,
selections. I do not like the selections.
yeah. Okay, Avi, I think the last one I don't think I've covered with you is how West Indies gave Pakistan a shellacking. Although I think Pakistan sabotaged themselves with the way they have lack of killer instincts in the first innings. Had they bowled West Indies out for 100, under 100, they would have had a lead of 60, considering how they batted the first innings. And who knows? Could have been interesting. But Pakistan are famous for doing Pakistan things, losing matches that they shouldn't lose.
Hey, they're beating India at least.
Yeah, I mean, typical Pakistan. I mean, they got beaten at their home game here. They got backfired. It completely backfired at their home ground. But let's be honest, guys. This was writing on the wall. I mean, if you're going to prepare these kind of radical pitches, all a team has to do is just play but 60 or 70% better than how they played, in the previous game, and they're going to
Mm,
beat you. They just got to get enough runs.
Mm-hmm.
They just got to get enough runs and put Pakistan under pressure with the bat. Because I think we've seen even in SA, this Pakistan batting lineup is very
yes.
brittle. If that pitch is doing something, I mean, forget about that second test in Cape Town and the second inning. That was an
Mm,
absolute road where they
Mm.
posted 480, right? But whenever the pitch is doing something, they are in an absolute mess, and that's what we saw. Yeah, and I think with
Mm-hmm.
Pakistan now, if they want to continue with the way they're playing, and I think I brought
Mm-hmm.
this up last week, if they play a better team like Australia or New Zealand or SA on those kind of pitches, this could bite them in
mm,
the face. This could bite them in the face. They could end up losing a
mm.
series
Yeah.
preparing those kind of radical kind of turners. So they got to be very careful going forward. But it's still better that
Yeah,
there's
I was
roads,
gonna
eh?
say that. I'd rather have these pitches than the roads. Dude, those roads are like putting me to
But
sleep, man. Those roads are
I
putting
have
me to
one
sleep, man.
question.
Sure, sure.
Um, Name one Pakistan team that actually did have a good batting order. I don't think there ever was one.
Hmm.
Pakistan have always relied on their bowlers to have a better bowling attack than the other teams. That's why they were able to compete. They never really had a very good batting order, ever.
Hmm.
I just want to say something as well,
Mhm.
Yuri. Pakistan have been renowned for being a
Hmm.
fast bowling
That's
nation.
it.
So why are you not playing to your strengths? Why are you not
I
playing to your
said it
strengths,
earlier
guys?
on.
I mean, if you talk about any 90s or 80s kid that grew up watching Pakistan, you get the names of Imran Khan, you get the names of Waka,
Go ahead.
Wasim,
Yeah.
Shoaib Akhtar, Abdul Razak,
Akib Javed.
Umar
Hmm.
Gul, Akib Javed. Okay, I didn't see much of Akib Javed, but I know he
He
did
was
win the World
quick.
Cup with
He was,
Pakistan.
yeah.
Akib Javed,
I think
yeah.
Mohammed Asif. Mohammed Asif
Who's
also.
the
He was a
other
good
guy?
bowler. Wow.
Mohammad
Hmm?
Asif,
Too
Yeah.
Mohammad
many.
Amir. I
Listen.
mean, guys, This is a fast
And,
bowling
and
country, and you're not
and to
playing to
be
your
honest with you,
strengths.
they've right now got a better fast bowling attack sitting in a domestic setup than they've ever had in the past. You've got four guys topping 150, and you've got a guy fighting with Jasprit Bumrah for the best bowler in the world title. Why are they not playing?
It's an absolute crime that Shaheen
Yeah,
Shah Afridi does not play a home test for
Hmm.
agree?
Pakistan. Absolute
But I
crime.
do.
He's the
But
best bowler
Avish,
in that
I
team.
will be more upset if Pakistan hosted Asian nations like Sri Lanka and Bangladesh again and Afghanistan, and they don't prepare really fast bowling paradise pitches. If they prepare the same dust bowl, then I will really crucify them till the cows come home. But I bet you they'll prepare Western type pitches. So let's hope for that, eh?
I don't know if this Pakistan
I
team.
mean, you know what, son? This is
Mm-hmm.
what frustrates me, right? When they went to Australia and they played those four paces, they got so
Mm.
close to beating Australia on those
They
games.
should
If
have
they
really
just,
won one of those games.
if they just
Yeah,
held their nerve and used some little bit of common sense,
yeah,
they could have
definitely.
beaten Australia. And then obviously we know what happened. We know what happened
Mm.
in Centurion. I mean, I was phoning you at lunchtime. I thought this is game over with the way SA collapsed in that manner. So they have the ability. They have the ability. I think the groundsman are going to catch a serious wake up there and start preparing pitches that are going to suit their kind of style of play. Because I don't think spin bowling is Pakistan's strength. Although it's suited them, I don't think that's their strength. I think it's something they have to go through because they've been so bad in preparing pitches with these kind of the roads that they were preparing for against England, Australia, and every other series that
I
came
was
about.
actually
If they go back to their fast bowling
they, Pakistan
reserves, they could be a real
Pakistan
force.
have not had a really good spin bowler since what's his name? Sakrin Mushtaq retired.
Yeah.
They've not had a spinner.
Suklain,
What
yeah,
They've
about
not had a
Ajmal,
very
Yubi?
good spinner. Sorry?
What about Said Ajmal? What about Said Ajmal?
absolutely
He's
not.
also a good bowler.
Say that. Yeah, it's alright.
Not on that
He
level, eh?
wasn't that great.
Okay.
Um, Danish, can
He
you
was okay, but once
can you hear
again,
me?
he didn't have the skill set. He was good in the sense of line and length, that kind of thing. He had good control, but he didn't have those wicket taking balls.
Interesting.
I agree with you. Vijay. I think Suklain and
But
Yeah.
the
Mushtaq
last,
was probably
yeah,
their most skillful.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Mushtaq Ahmed was their most skillful spinners that they've had.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just want to say something. Let's just say Wakan Wasim was still playing, and you had to tell Wakan Wasim, you know what, guys, you can't play this test match because we're gonna go in spinners. How do you think they would react? How do you think they would have
they'll
reacted to
be
that kind
they'll
of
They
be
would
BS?
have.
writing in the
Yeah.
streets. Yeah,
I think they would be. They were sparing the selectors left, right, center, man. They'll be sparing the coach left, right, center.
that's it.
Uh.
This is how I grew up, right? This is how I grew up, and this is how I learned about subcontinent cricket. Pakistan produced
Mhm.
bowlers, and
Mm,
India produced
mm,
batsmen.
mm.
That's how I grew up. Yeah, Pakistan always had the bowlers, India always had the batters. But now it seems the roles have been reversed
Uh,
here. India have the bowlers, Pakistan don't have the
or
But
bowlers.
you
they
could
don't
say
have the
that
batters either.
Yeah, you could say that India.
They don't have the
You can.
batters
They
either.
don't have the batters.
Yeah.
I mean, as you said, they've never had the batting. They've never had the
Exactly.
Uh,
batting.
okay, Yuvi, what's your final word before we wrap off? Because I know you have your appointment at 3, Yuvi? So what's your final word before we
Yeah.
wrap off?
So I like the fact that world cricket is in a very stagnant phase right now. Um, I like it, and I know it sounds weird, but I like it because
Yeah.
it's proving the weakness in selection policies in a lot of
Oh,
countries around the world,
interesting.
and there will be need for change. This
Hmm.
ICC Champions Trophy is going to reveal a lot of real stupid tendencies in certain teams
Hmm.
around the world, and
That's true.
there will be need for a lot of change. And
Hmm.
the ICC themselves are going to have to make some major changes, both with regards to the rule book,
Hmm.
the requirements on the Test Championship, all of that. There's going to have to be major changes across the board. So I like where this is going, as much as it's frustrating in the moment. I like where
Hmm.
it's headed.
Avi?
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to preview that Champions Trophy
Okay.
next week with you
Mhm.
guys. That's going to be a really interesting discussion because I do think some teams it's kind of a big tournament for them because
Afghanistan's going to win.
the way they're coming into the Champions Trophy, not coming into I mean I can't I I'm not going to write that off. I'm not going to write that off, Yogi, because I mean I saw how Afghanistan played in the 2023 World Cup and
Hmm.
how they played in
Hmm.
the T20 World Cup. So I'm not going to write them off. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting tournament. Um, I would have preferred
Hmm.
more teams. Honestly, I
Hmm.
would have preferred more teams
Hmm.
than 8. But
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, and I think we're going to get. I think every game, barring whoever's
Hmm.
playing Bangladesh, I think Bangladesh is probably one of the
I think
outsiders
they're
there.
gonna
It's going to be really,
they're
really
gonna kind of be
interesting.
the whooping boy.
Yeah, I agree with Yuvi on I agree
The
with Yuvi
whooping
on that
boys,
one.
yeah, so to speak. So yeah, and then yeah, I mean, I just say go MI,
Yeah.
go
Also,
MI
See,
on
sorry, Yuvi, I
the
forgot to
final.
ask you a yes or no question. Do you think Sri Lanka is going to win the second test, or do you think Australia is going to win 2-0 quickly? Yes or no?
now Australia will win.
Okay, I think that's it, guys. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think Sri Lanka got no choice but to win that second test. Because if they don't win that second test, they rather hold
I
their heads in
agree.
shame.
No, I agree with that, but I just look at the state of both teams right now,
Mm,
and as much as I'm not a fan of the current Australian lineup, because I think they took their B grade team there, and
mm,
honestly, I just look at that and I'm like, they still have more talent in there than the Sri Lanka. Sorry to say it, but
mm.
it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And then I think just overall discipline in bowling, discipline in fielding, discipline in
levels. Australia are just
Mm.
so ahead of
I,
them.
I would have liked to have seen the Wild Thing and Richardson there, though. I would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah. Oh well. And I famously say shit happens. Excuse my language, viewers. Okay, take care, guys.
I agree.